they got better, but we'll see.
It'll be interesting. Last thing there is we talked about that JB contract. There's another. So this is what I'm scared of. This will be the last thing I bring up here. This is what I'm worried about. Is that's a lot of money for a guy. Do you guys think JB is, as far as players go, you think his playing style is worth that level of money?
Hell no. Hell no. Because you have to think about it. He would be a free agent next year, but they're just trying to avoid that. So he's going to be eligible for a 5-year worth to $300 million deal. And in his final year of his contract, he would make probably near $70 million a year. He's not even the best player in the league. That's
he's
like
the best player on his team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's not even the best player on his team, and people think he's worth that. This is a dude. I don't want to not worth it either. Yeah, nah. But this is a dude that always struggled, and I've never even realized this to this season. He's always struggled with his left hand. Like people always talk about that he can't dribble with his left hand, which is crazy to me. But no, I'm not paying. No, I wouldn't pay him that. That's crazy.
That's so much money. And like as him, I would be like, dude, love to see folks get their bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but if I'm a fan of the Celtics, I don't want them to make that move, bro. Like we've seen like that ties them down, especially with what's going on now with the new new CBA.
Yeah, bro.
Like that leaves you very little money to play with, and you got to build we talked about it. You build a complete team to win chips, and they've been in the chip. They've been in the chip twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
not gonna work now.
No, like once, but like they should have been twice. But they've been in the chip. They've been a chip ready team. Playing for the chip the last 2-3 seasons. So yeah, it's just I don't think that I wouldn't sign up for that. Not with this new CBA either. That's a lot to give up.
Yeah, putting him on that much money, and like you said, Boston still needs to figure out a way to optimize that core. That gives them a lot. That does not give them a lot of wiggle room at all, like you just said. Right. So we'll see how that all works out. Because what I'm worried about this is Carl and Blake. What I'm worried about, it's not going to be the same situation. But there was another guy a few years back who, at that point in time, was the highest paid player in league history. Was Rudy Gobert, where his team put out that much money for him. And obviously Jaylen Brown ain't Rudy Gobert. Although I think what Rudy Gobert did, the one thing he did was more impactful to his team than what Jaylen Brown did with his defense. But
he ain't doing now though.
Talking about the Jazz?
Yeah. When they broke that money out for him, that's the fear there, is where you pay a guy before he's proven that JB hasn't proven himself as a number one guy on the team yet. And so when you pay a guy that much money for that, he doesn't play up to it, then you walk around. This is a really weird situation after that, especially for a guy at the 3 who's still working on, I guess, rounding out his game a little bit more, So it'll really be interesting to see what Boston does. But like you said, good for him to get that money. He has grown a lot over the last couple of years. There was a minute, I don't know where you stand on this, but there was a minute a few years back where we were debating between who was the guy on that team between him and Tatum.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
That debate ain't there no more, though.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? When like he was like, was it close to 50, 40, 90 at one point?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all-star, like, bruh, you got to start talking. You know what I mean? Man. He made a jump that nobody really saw him making a jump, and he was dope on, he was going crazy on both ends of the court too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like solid defense, but
he
got kind of, Draymond kind of opened it up like, he can't dribble left. Saw that in the finals, you feel me? And then we see him lay an egg in Game 7, and then Tatum Game 7 prior to that, he dropped 50. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I never against a man getting this money, but as a as a fan of that team, I don't know if I want to sign up for that for sure. I would.
Yeah. Nah, because they still need a whole lot to build that team if they want to actually win a championship.
Especially with the 3 people they lost. That's what
especially with 3 people they lost. So you have to find a way to kind of replace that in of itself, and you're not going to do that paying a player that much money. It's not happening.
Yeah,
Kristaps, man.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I said, you want to see them build around those 2 and actually win something, because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are so unique. Because even as young guys who were pretty highly touted coming out of college, obviously Tatum being more highly touted coming out of Duke, they were winning immediately. Like Tatum, you come in as a top 3 pick, and you're in the Eastern Conference Finals guarding Bron.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And talking like you forgot it's Bron for a second. Like, it's Bron, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you want to see them optimize that, because I don't think we're going to see that in a long time, where we see a guy that highly touted come in and then be like in the conference. I mean, I don't know if that'll happen in a very long time.
They were talking about including. I don't know if y'all remember this when they were talking about KD going to Boston.
Yeah,
but they wanted, if KD was gonna go to Boston, they wanted Tatum.
Okay,
and it was like nah.
Yeah,
and if Tatum was say, and I remember Tatum was interviewed, and he said, yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable. He's like, if I'm them, I'm trading me for KD. He's one of the best players in the world. This is before Tatum became himself. Before he became one of the better players in the world. So like that's how much they believed in Tatum. Where KD during his superpowers, they wouldn't even mention throwing Tatum in the trade while KD was at his best. He was before his shot ever had gotten blocked ever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So crazy.